Anyways, man, way back. Make sure you go to herlullaby.com. Books is on sale, and if you got Kindle, Amazon Kindle Unlimited, you can get it for free. Right? I'm a writer. I'm an author. I do that. That's another stream of revenue. Let's get into this topic, right? Something happened recently. I guess you could say with Kanye West. See, he really flipped the internet and the world upside down. And I'm really trying to get a hold of how he exactly did it, because I'm gonna tell you, let me just explain it, right? So there's some comments that he was making or have been made throughout the duration of a certain period of time, and then it was just one comment where people was just like, all right, enough is enough. We gonna step in and say something. Let's touch on one of the more recent comments, right? About when he said slavery is a choice, and I can't do it verbatim, but he was pretty much saying, it's like, yo, slavery for 400 plus years, that sounds like that's a choice to me. Again, this is something that's perspective based, and this is something now I'm thinking, right? It's kind of hard to describe, and again, it's very hard to describe for him too. I would hope so, because once again, he's not in that particular situation. But if you look at it from the perspective of this, right, our own people sold us to these, you could say, colonizers or whatnot. These people, when they was buying the slaves, our own people sold us, and we went on the ships, right? Yeah, there's opportunities, you could say, people jumped ship, because they was like, nah, we ain't going over there, and we ain't about to be slaves, we ain't about to do this, we ain't about to do that, right? Right? What if Kanye West, again, what if Kanye West had the mindset of saying, hey, slavery is a choice, meaning that he would rather die before he did all those things for that time period, for that many years, right? He would have rather died. And some people actually did probably have that mindset. They would have rather died, and they probably picked that option. But here's the thing that I do want to touch on, is that when you have this it's like psychological warfare. We may have outnumbered said people. We may have outnumbered these people, but at the end of the day, they attacked this. That's what happened. Because when the slave masters, when they had their plantations, run their plantations, it came a point in time where it was like, yo, like, at any given time, these people can take over our plantation. They knew that. They knew that at any given time, these people can revoke and take over our place. They outnumber us tremendously, right? So they went to, Willie Lynch? Yo, how can we keep our slaves in line? The whole Willie Lynch letter, look into that. That stuff right there still plays a part within our community today. That still exists today, because it's called psychological warfare. You attack the person's mind, you can control that person. You can control that person, and no matter how small you are, no matter how inferior you think you are or may be, in terms of physical strength and stuff like that, right? If you attack someone's mental state, their mind, something that controls our whole being, our ideology, you can do anything with that person. So what it does is it strips away that person's choice. It strips away the idea of even that person even having a choice, because you got this already. You snatched it from them. So that's why when people probably say, yo, hell no, it's not a choice. Yeah, it kind of wasn't a choice, because it was that choice was taken away from us. It was taken away. But if you look at it from like a number standpoint, from, a physical strength standpoint, and just obviously us being humans, technically it is a choice, because a person can say yes or no. It doesn't matter if you can say, oh, but they had whips, oh, but they had guns. Yes, that's true, right? And then you could be like, well, Jamal, if you had a gun, a whip, yeah. Again, it's like a psychological warfare. You're playing with the person's mind. So yeah, you have a choice, but a person can be like, nah, I don't. Just they're saying no. The choice is no. I'm not gonna run away because of this. I'm not gonna do this because of this. A cause and effect, a slippery slope type of situation. I'm not gonna do this because it makes sense. So that's what I hear when I hear slavery is a choice. That's what goes on in my mind. Some people just kind of jump out the gun. They don't step back, look at what it said, and take a rational point of view. They just say, "Oh, slavery is a choice." Oh, these people. No, just step back, look at the phrase, try to analyze it, break it down, try to see his perspective, try to come up with your own perspective. And just get an understanding for the actual phrase and the meaning behind it, the time lift. When someone says 400 years or 400 plus years, they're still talking about now. They're talking about now. They're talking about 2018 when they say four. So people are still slaves now. But understand that, right? What's the definition of a slave? And to what degree? There's some different definitions of it. Aren't we not all slaves right now at this moment? It just depends, what are you a slave to? Because everyone has a master. Is your master God? Is your master technology, social media, or the media, the news? What's your master? Is it gossip? Is it all these things? Is it false idols or idols in general? What is your master? Everyone's a slave to some degree, right? But understand this, break down what the definition of a slave is and really understand the meaning behind everything. Just step back and break things down. Don't just immediately start throwing rocks. Like, really understand the stuff. Tap into your higher power. Now, again, at the end of the day, really, this is how I think. Especially with my personality type, I'm a ENTP, right? If you look at the Myers-Briggs, 16 different personality types, I'm ENTP, right? With me, I'm someone who puts logic and facts over feelings. Right? I want to know something that logically makes sense. I want to know the facts, the truth. And your feelings, that comes after the point, right? So with me, I'm trying to dissect, why do people feel the way they do based off another man's comments? And you really have to think about it, right? I do understand that someone like him who's in a position of, you could say, power, the level of influence he has over some people based off his positioning. Words have meaning, words have power. So with him, his words have even more meaning based off the perspective of the positioning he's in. So I get that point. At the end of the day, we are our own individuals. So why should another man's comments tilt us? Why should it affect us? So if he's saying something about, let's say he's talking about the LGBT community, why should I get offended by what that one person is saying when I have my own thoughts? It's almost like back in the day, it's like the Coliseum. We're just watching people fighting. We're just throwing rocks at people. And at the end of the day, we're cool with that because the masses is cool with it. You're just joining in on the fun because everyone else is poking fun at it. But when really, if the roles were reversed, and you was out there in the middle, you wouldn't want rocks thrown at you. You wouldn't want anyone to scrutinize you or slander your name. But yet it's cool when you do it to other people. People are so quick to pass judgment upon others based off another person's thinking. If someone thinks differently from me, that person has to be crazy. That person's thoughts has to be crazy. There's something about that person thinking is out. That person is outlandish. Everything that's coming out that person's mouth is asinine. Based off my thinking, I perceive it to be that way. You know what that means? That means that person has to change their thinking. That person has to upgrade their level of thinking if all they do is going to think another person is crazy. Was it another man's trash is another man's treasure? True beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. These terms don't exist for no reason. So why do these terms exist yet we just go around and do the opposite of it? We're just walking hypocrites. The hypocrisy of that's coming from people's mouths. People want to change the rhetoric when it comes to their own personal beliefs, but yet they don't keep the same energy when another topic comes up, when another person comes into the equation. They're like, oh, it ain't me, so it's cool to throw rocks at that person. I don't get that. And one thing I do love, again, I'm not defending Kanye West. I'm not defending him. Really, I'm just taking that situation and I'm extending what he was saying to everyone, because I'm not trying to put Kanye West on the hot seat. It's just that other people put him on the hot seat. So let's talk. We might as well have the conversation. So let's go on here and talk. One thing I do love, and again, you don't have to love everything he's saying. Let me get into that. One thing I do love what Kanye West was saying was the idea of having free thought. Because really, we as people, when put on this earth, we wasn't put on earth to have dominion over other people. And we have brains within our heads. So the idea of us having free thought is something that we actually need to focus more on. And if you think the same way he thinks, that's the absence of free thought. He don't want you to think the same way he thinks. And I feel like he's exemplified that by actually standing his ground on his beliefs. He's not necessarily saying, hey, you have to believe what he's saying. But at the end of the day, hatred, jealousy, rage, envy, and all these things, if that's not making a difference or a positive difference, if that's not pushing people towards the right direction, let's try something that actually has the potential to push people in the right direction, which is love. Love your enemy. Love, right? If everyone has the common, usually technically, if there's a common enemy, I do like that, because what that does is that causes people to band together in unison. So to kind of help fight the common enemy, you know. So if you want to look at Trump as the common enemy, that will cause people to band. But at the end of the day, based off his stuff, they just call people to band together, but in a bad way. Y'all just throwing rocks at him. So again, just have free thought. The same way he's exemplifying the idea of him having free thought. Maybe he's not articulating his words the best way possible. Maybe he's not doing the best way of doing or exemplifying free thought. Maybe he's not doing that. But at the end of the day, you know what that means? That means he's human. That means anytime someone's failed in life, they're human. We're not perfect. So the idea of seeing me fall, me bleed, me scrape my knee, me failing in life, that means I'm human. But that also means I have room for improvement. So at the end of the day, I love looking at my downfall. I love seeing myself feel like, I don't love it, but you gotta love it, because it's a part of you. You know what I'm saying? That's really what I'm saying. Like, you don't have to love to fail, but you love the idea that you're capable of doing something like that, because you know you can learn from your mistake. Does that make sense? You get what I'm saying? That's it on that topic. You know, I can really get deeper into that. I can have a whole 10, 20, 30-minute, hour-long, 2-hour-long discussion on that. I'm talking about, I could get into some TED Talk type discussions. I could get into some breakdowns on the human minds, the capabilities, the paradigms, the faculties, all these different things that goes on within our head. But here's the thing, are y'all ready for that? Do y'all really want that? Y'all thought I was just no, I read books. I watch videos. Self-education. See, that's what you gotta promote that into people's minds. You gotta promote that. You gotta live that. You gotta live the self-education. You gotta have that mindset. You gotta be hungry.
You gotta be hungry.
You gotta be hungry for this information. Because at the end of the day, if you don't, who will? There's people who need your help. There's people who are relying on you. You may not know it, but people are. People look to you for advice. People look to you because they think you their backbone. Help these people out. Become a better you. Become a better version of you. You are awesome. You are strong. You are amazing. You can do anything you want to do in life. All right? Does that make sense? Are we on the same frequency? If not, then we need to get there. That's it for the video, man. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Hit the bell to be notified. Sub up for the hot game. Listen, if you like anything I said, leave it in the comment section. If you got a comment to add on anything I said, leave it in the comment section. If you felt offended at all, if you think what I said was just blasphemy, wrong, asinine, like it was just, I was just speaking gibberish, leave it in the comment section. Let's have this conversation. Let's take it there. But it's Jamal_Hockey. And I'm going to see you guys on the next vlog, YouTube reaction video. And by the way, I just ordered a movie pass. You know, moviepass.com. Yes, I just ordered my card. We going to be watching movies literally like every day. I mean, literally every day. Reviews is going to be coming often. I'm gonna be like Jeremy Johns, Chris Stuckman up in this piece. But the Jamal version, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, man, peace out!
Black on black lies is worse than black on black crime. The Jews share their truth on how to make a dime. Most black men couldn't balance a checkbook, but buy a new car talking about how my neck look. Well, it all looks great. 400 years later, we buying our own chains. The light is before us, brothers, so the devil working hard.